John Boyega, because John Boyega went on an unhinged rant about white Star Wars fans yesterday. Now, let's set the table here. The Disney trilogy was a complete and total disaster. It would be incredible if there was, I don't know, thousands and thousands of fans that told you this and said that they were literally using people for their identity and not for good storytelling. I'm pretty sure we've had a lot of fans calling that out over the years, that Disney decided we're going to cast people because of their identity and not because we have a good story to tell. And the end result is that the sequel trilogy will go down as arguably the greatest failure in cinematic history from a storytelling standpoint. John Boyega says Star Wars is so white that a black person existing in it is a big deal. Toxic fans are okay with us playing the friend, but we can't touch their heroes.
Lando Calrissian was a fucking hero in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, he addresses Lando. And
I'm sure he does.
He does.
We love Mace Windu. How about the fact that, John Boyega, if you're pissed about being the friend or being the joke, blame Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson for making your character, who could have been awesome, man. The idea of a stormtrooper turning hero Jedi, I don't care what your fucking skin color is. I don't care. That'd have been really fucking cool. But Rian Johnson made you a joke, had you running around the galaxy with fucking, what's her name? Rose Tico in Last Jedi, that awkward kiss, and then nothing. Blame Kathleen Kennedy for that, John Boyega, not us.
Yep. But here we are. And so, and I talked about this in my video, but I said it, like, generally speaking, now that the sequel trilogy is behind us and it's a complete failure, generally speaking, if there's one thing that I believe is, okay, I'll say this, to be fair, there's two positive things that I hear discussed from the sequel trilogy in theory. It's that Adam Driver is a fantastic actor, which he is, okay, and that John Boyega had the most potential and people thought he was going to be the hero and they wanted him to be the hero. That's what people said. But yet he's blaming Star Wars fans for being toxic, when Star Wars fans are the only ones who were like, we thought John Boyega could have been a great Jedi. His story would have been much better if he would have actually followed the path that they were trying to portray in the trailers. And yet he's blaming the fans for the behavior of the studio. This is absolutely fucking nuts.
Yep.
John Boyega called out Star Wars for being so white during an interview as part of the new Apple TV Plus documentary, #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. Boyega debuted as Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens and reprised his character in The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. His role in the sequel trilogy led to online harassment from racist and toxic fans. Star Wars fans upset with a black actor playing a lead hero in a space franchise.
Jeez.
You do not hate the media enough. You do not hate the media enough. They are it is 2025 and they are still running with this lie. They're still running with this lie. This is absolutely fucking wild.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Good God. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had this vibe of being the most whitest elite space. It's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. Boyega said in the documentary, you can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando Calrissian and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like they just scattered that in there, bro. The reason, well, first of all, Lando, back in my day, Lando was never referenced as a black character. Lando was referenced as a great character. It wasn't until identity politics took over and Star Wars fans were always labeled as racist until we had to go, what are you talking about? We liked Mace Windu. We liked Lando Calrissian. That's the reason they're referenced in that way, not because they're black actors in a role. It's because you accuse people of being racist based off absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, like you said, when I was growing up, Lando was a smug pimp gambler, Han's best friend. That's who Lando was. Like, it wasn't like, oh, that's Han's black friend. It was like, nah, here's this smooth talking, gambling, smug kind of, just character that wound up being the hero in Return of the Jedi. Mace Windu, he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi Master on the Jedi Council. That's what he was. He wasn't the black Jedi. He was a fucking badass. And we all wanted to see Mace Windu fight. When we see Mace Windu in Phantom Menace, we're like, fuck, man, we want to see this guy go at it. And finally, we get, the battle on Geonosis, and we see Mace Windu kill Jango Fett. That shit was awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to see Mace Windu drop a motherfucker in the middle of the prequels.
Yes.
Just call him he should have called Palpatine a motherfucker. Boom. Oscar-winning material right there. But yeah, so that's the reason that they're always referenced like that. It's absolutely stupid.
Hell, Darth Vader was voiced by a black man.
That's right. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's a bit too much. They're pandering, the actor added, also while acknowledging that being cast in the franchise was a fundamental moment in his career. So you're complaining, yet you're trying to say it was a huge moment for your career. This is fucking insane. John Boyega is a piece of shit. He just absolutely is. He's a piece of shit. Boyega first aired his grievances to GQ magazine in 2020 about Disney's fumbling of diversity in the Star Wars trilogy. He said at the time, what I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed aside. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. Well, looks like you were on point back then, but now it's the fans' fault. So you're admitting right here, you are literally admitting that they used you for your identity, that they marketed you for your identity. You are admitting that they destroyed the story all because they focused on identity, and now you're blaming the fans for not liking it. This fucking guy has no idea what he's talking about.
Yep. Blame Kathleen Kennedy and her self-insert of Daisy Ridley and Rey. Because John Boyega's Finn could have been really freaking cool.
He could have.
Yep.
You guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You guys knew what to do with Adam Driver. No, they didn't. Again, nope. Now I will argue. The point that I made from the beginning that I thought Adam Driver was really good in The Force Awakens. I didn't like that he took his mask off, but he was an interesting character, and Adam Driver is a damn good actor. So there was an interesting dynamic to what they were trying to do with Kylo Ren, and they completely screwed it up as the trilogy moved forward. So that proves the point that they had no idea what they were doing with Adam Driver. They had no clue what they were doing.
Yep. And that's all about direction and leadership, because Kathleen Kennedy gave each director, she let Rian Johnson completely undo everything. There was no actual direction from 7, 8, and 9. They were individually allowed to do whatever story they wanted in that moment while they were filming it, and there was zero end goal. Where are we going to end up? They didn't have that. They just let them do whatever the fuck they wanted.
But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, fuck all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows I'm not exposing anything. So your beef is with the way that Disney treated you.
Yeah.
Yet you're blaming the fans for the way that Disney treated you.
He's missing the plot, bro.
He is all fucked up, man.
Yep.
Good Lord. Boyega later revealed that a Disney executive reached out to him following his GQ interview. He said they had a very honest and very transparent conversation. And the Disney executive added there was a lot of explaining on their end in terms of the way they saw things. They gave me a chance also to explain what my experience was like. That's all you wanted, was for them to acknowledge you. That's all you wanted. So I don't know what he thinks is going to come of this by trashing the fans and calling them racist, but it's going to have a negative effect. I'm assuming he wants to be recognized by Hollywood is what it feels like. He wants Hollywood to acknowledge him, so that's why he wants to play the race card right now. This is absolutely insane, dude.
Yep.
I can't believe how out of touch with reality this clown is.
Yep. He's out of work and he wants to get back into the good graces of the higher ups in Hollywood.
I bet you that if you go back and watch the marketing for The Force Awakens and you watch the media tour that him and Daisy Ridley were on, they assumed that they were going to be megastars. They assumed that their careers were made and that everything was going to be perfect. That is because you were such normies to Star Wars that you didn't realize that Hayden Christensen suffered. You didn't realize that Jake Lloyd suffered. You didn't realize that Mark Hamill never really became a megastar just because he was Luke Skywalker. But you thought just because you were in Star Wars that you were automatically going to become Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a generational talent and has charisma on a level that we've rarely seen. And I say that as someone that, and I never really appreciated that until I saw him at Star Wars Celebration years and years ago. I think this was during the 40th, if I'm not mistaken. And Mark Hamill came out on stage. George Lucas was there. Several other people were out there. When Harrison Ford walked out there, different level, bro. Like, I was like, that's a fucking movie star. That's a fucking movie star. Nobody else mattered on that stage when Harrison Ford walked out. He just had a different fucking level about him that you can't recreate. And so in their minds, they're thinking, we're all going to be Harrison Ford. And it's like, no, you're not. Harrison Ford is next level, and he has been for a long time. You're not that. You got a great opportunity, and your careers didn't go in the direction that you thought, maybe for different reasons. And now they're just bitter, especially John Boyega. So anyway.
Yeah. And chat brought up a good point. The guy who played Jar Jar. The guy who played Jar Jar. Dude, his life was ruined for a long time.
I'm drawing a blank.
Jamad Best.
No, it is Best. It's not Jamad. It's what is it?
Ahmad Best.
Ahmad Best.
Yeah. Ahmad Best.
Yeah.
His life was ruined for a long time. Jake Lloyd, that ended his career. He quit acting because of how bullied he was.
By the media.
Media.
Look it up. The media went after Ahmed Best. The media went after Hayden Christensen. And the media went after Jake Lloyd. 100%.
Yep. There's only a few actors in Star Wars who actually came out and continued to put out good stuff. But those were actors that already had like a portfolio and a good portfolio of previous movies of being a movie star. Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor, Harrison Ford. Well, Harrison Ford really, Star Wars was like his first big thing. Or what was it?
Blade Runner. He was in Blade Runner, I think, before then.
I don't think so.
I think so, right? Am I right about that?
No, it was George Lucas's first movie. What was it called? THX? Am I fucking up?
THX?
Maybe. I don't know.
American Graffiti was his first movie.
American Graffiti. Well, there you go. American Graffiti. But not a lot of actors who like got their debut job in Star Wars actually turned out being like with a great career.
So Blade Runner was 82. Okay, there you go. All right, 82. Yeah, I mean, Harrison Ford, like, that run he had in the 80s was absolutely insane. And he just continued it on. He's a legit movie star. He just is. There's I don't know how to put it. Like, there's fake movie stars and there's actual movie stars. Harrison Ford is a real movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise is a real movie star. Will Smith was a movie star. He was the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
Now he's a cuck, but you know what I mean? But
yeah,
people don't, we talked about it many times on this channel. People do not realize how big of a star Will Smith was in the 90s and in the 2000s. It was crazy. He was the biggest star in the world. In this racist world we're in, Will Smith was the biggest star in the world. How racist we were back then, apparently.